Hey, I didn't expect to feel this shift the first time I hit play on the Zeppelin Pro Edition, but it happened almost instantly, like the room finally stopped waiting and started speaking in sound. This speaker is for the kind of person who's done with flat, washed-out audio that feels like it's hiding behind the music. You know what presence sounds like. You've sat through moments where a track feels alive in your head but lifeless out of your speakers, and you're done settling for the gap between what you expect and what you actually hear. Before anything else, take a moment to check the current price and stock. Speakers this capable don't linger when people start paying attention. I knew it was time to upgrade when every playlist began to feel like a compromise, where bass was missing its authority, mids felt crowded, and highs either shrieked or disappeared. I remember hitting play on the Zeppelin and thinking, finally. It wasn't louder just for the sake of volume. It was filled with purpose. The lows had depth without boominess, the mids sounded articulate and natural, and the highs carried detail without fatigue. That was the moment I realized how much nuance I'd been missing. Once you feel that level of dimensional sound, anything flatter feels like you're hearing music through a veil. Using this every day, morning playlists that wake you gently, late-night mixes that fill the space without overwhelming it, movies that suddenly have directional presence, it doesn't feel artificially boosted. It feels intentional. Songs you thought you knew reveal layers you never noticed before. That sensation doesn't fade. It becomes the baseline you expect. And once you feel that, lesser speakers start to feel like you're watching a masterpiece through a fogged window. If you're thinking about this, don't sit on it waiting for strange price swings or stock quirks. This is one of those pieces of gear people circle back to again and again because the difference isn't subtle, it's unmistakable. You might wonder if the extra drivers and that subwoofer really matter. They do. But what matters more is how balanced everything feels, not just louder, not just deeper, but cohesive. The way stereo width opens up, how instruments find their own space, how vocals feel centered but not boxed in, that's not something you notice once and forget. That's something that changes how you listen. Once you've had that, going back feels like listening through constraints. One thing that genuinely surprised me was how natural it stays at higher volumes. It doesn't shout. It asserts. You push it harder, and it stays poised. That's not accidental, that's design realized. And that calm power is something you don't notice instantly, but you miss immediately if it's gone. Depth that feels like you're in the room, clarity that reveals new layers, balance instead of overwhelm, presence that fills space thoughtfully, a listening experience that feels alive. It's bigger than compact Bluetooth options. Premium performance comes at a premium commitment. At some point you stop cycling through specs and pick what already felt right in your mind the first time you heard it. Don't let this be the speaker upgrade you delay and look back on wishing you jumped on sooner. Check availability now and trust that instinct. This is the speaker your soundscape has been quietly asking for.